I finally can test the Xbox. Thank God I pre-ordered. We were not at home. We will try next week. God damn it! I need to ask somebody else. Yeah. Hello everybody, and thanks for having another Nitro Nights episode with me. Tonight we will have a closer look at the new console generation, and for that I have ordered special support. So welcome YouTuber Devon from South Africa with me, who has a lot to say about the new Xbox Series X and the new PlayStation 5. He will be also our 10th Trackmania Hotlap participant. And finally, we will have the Newsflash again. So if you are curious about the latest F1 esports news or what the Toyota Yaris has to do with GT Sport, stay on board. But first things first, we will now take a closer look at Devon.
Back in 2015, the inspiration for Devon to get into YouTube was quite simple. Feeling that there weren't many good Forza Motorsport 6 tips at launch, he took it upon himself to change that. From there on, his content evolved into multiplayer commentaries, videos about various racing topics, and his long-running Idiots of the Week series.
Yep,
Do it now!
Oh, that is
Yeah, that was Mate's race.
That stands at a respectable 156 entries for the Forza variant alone. His love of the genre runs deep. He entered the gaming world with a racing title, Colin McRae Rally, in 1998. He mostly plays on consoles and only acquired a PC to play games this year with the help of his community. When he's not racing, you can probably find him playing Minecraft, his favorite game of all time. To sum him up in his own words, he's a Minecrafter at heart, a racer on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe a game one day will connect both worlds, but now we have him with us. It's Devon. Nice to meet you.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm actually so honored you guys asked me to be here. I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, yeah, it's a pleasure. We're also very honored that you are with us straight from South Africa. You are, I would say, the biggest South African influencer when it comes to sim racing. How is the scene over there?
It's growing, definitely, more on the sim side with Assetto Corsa Competizione. Guys are definitely making waves there. A few guys I know personally are George Smith, who's doing a lot of commentary. He's moved from Call of Duty and stuff like that. Decent himself, and then there's guys like Alti who have done stuff on the world scene. And of course there's David Perrell, who's doing his Coach Dave Academy. And a lot of other guys who I don't know personally, but are very much up there in terms of pace on the world stage. So definitely growing, but as I said, it's more pretty much on the sim side.
Yeah, but you can say that maybe you also have an influence, especially that. Do you experience something like that, especially because of you doing this content and this work?
I wouldn't say influencing the sim racing side of things. And lately, because Forza has been a little bit off the boil, there haven't been too many people coming through from there. So if the next Forza is the game that we all hope it will be, that might be the case. But yeah.
Yeah, but let's talk about how you actually started sim racing. So you started with Forza, and you started with playing with a controller, right? And you were very, very fast. And now you are playing with a wheel. But is there at some point also a situation where you still play with controller?
If I go back to Forza, I still play on the controller, just because it's a much better on the controller than it is on the wheel. It's actually the only game I've played that's a better experience on the controller. But recently I did go back to Gran Turismo just for a video, just to see what it was like, and actually wasn't that bad. But yeah, apart from Forza, I don't really play much on the controller these days.
Yeah, so you would say it depends actually on the game, if it's with controller or with a wheel. Do you have any recommendation for that?
Most definitely. So pretty much if it's Forza, use a controller. Most other games are much better on the wheel. The only company I've really found that makes games that are good on the controller and the wheel would probably be Codemasters.
Yeah.
As hard as Dirt Rally is, it's actually very good on the controller.
But we also seen you playing our dirt games too, especially in the past. But you're not really a rally racer right now. Why is it so?
So from the YouTube side of things, rally, because it's sort of a niche within a niche, the audience isn't massive for it. And while I definitely do enjoy rally games, it's just the audience. So I've got to kind of set my time more to games that are going to be better for YouTube stuff.
Yeah. So YouTube is playing a big role in your life. I heard that you once did a video where you took all your money that you earned from YouTube and then you brought it to McDonald's and then spend all your money just on a McDonald's meal. So we can say you're not just doing it for the money, but what is your real passion? Why are you doing this on YouTube?
So the reason I started with YouTube is because when I left university, I found it really hard to find work. So I thought of doing YouTube as some sort of a way to pass the time, really.
Yeah.
And I actually did a different channel a few years before, but that was it didn't have any direction. It was just like random gameplay and stuff. So I had a little bit of experience. But yeah, since I started, always sort of dreamt of doing YouTube full time. And I was working full time for a while before. And then YouTube sort of started to take off with like Forza 7's launch. It has slowed down a bit because of Forza being quite old now and not having a huge audience. But yeah, that's pretty much why I got into it. And now I am doing YouTube full time, but I'm doing other things on the side as well. And I quite like the whole doing a bunch of things to be self-sufficient thing. I really actually enjoy doing that.
Yeah, and as you can see on YouTube, you have to find your niche, right? And I guess a lot of fans are really thankful that you found this niche too. Devon, are you ready for our quick fire round?
I am.
I am. That's
as ready
cool.
as I will be.
Okay, nice. So quick questions and quick answers I expect from you. Favorite racing game?
Forza Motorsport 4.
Rugby or cricket?
Cricket, 100%.
Surprise. Personal hero of esports racing?
I'll just say Super GT because he's a friend and inspiration on YouTube.
What's your favorite car?
Pagani Huayra BC.
All right. Favorite McDonald's meal?
Big Mac.
Okay, so that's where you spend your money to, in the Big Mac.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't go there too often these days, actually, but yeah.
And a very, very important question, Xbox or PlayStation?
I've always been on Xbox, but it actually just depends on what games are better, to be honest, especially now that I have a PC.
All right, we're going to talk about this one in a minute too and deep dive into that. But there, I guess, surely a lot of people who can't decide between these two devices right now. And we're really in exciting times right now because we have this new generation, which is already there and also coming up. We're talking about the Xbox Series X and also the PlayStation 5. And we from Overtake.gg took a really close look at these two consoles.
Xbox Series X is officially available, and Sony's PlayStation 5 will follow on November the 19th to enter the next console era. Besides more processing power, both consoles come with different features that could be very interesting for future racing games. First of all, both consoles now use SSD storage instead of classic hard disk drives. This reduces loading times drastically, but it also lets graphics or animations buffer faster. In racing games, this can and will primarily lead to much higher frame rates. Gran Turismo developer Polyphony Digital is aiming for 120 frames per second. The next-gen version of Dirt 5, which will be the first next-gen racing title, is offering up to 120 Hz mode, showing it's already realistic. In future, steering and track reactivity will feel much smoother and more straightforward. Oh, and talking of feeling, the new PS5 DualSense controller could drastically improve feedback and immersion in racing games. As an example, the haptic rumble feature combined with adaptive analog triggers will really transmit the feeling of driving on different surfaces. The context of the game will build up tension in the adaptive triggers, with the rumble feature feeling hard on rocky tracks or very smooth on sand or mud. Dirt 5 will again support these features, as we've heard from technical director David Springate. It will also be possible to have 7.1 surround sound by simply plugging headphones straight into the controller. This will help to locate other cars around you more precisely and create deeper immersion than ever before. More than that, Dirt 5 will be upgradable to the next-gen version for free, a feature many games will share on both consoles. Unfortunately, in most cases, save games won't survive the upgrade. Both consoles have also evolved their sharing features. It'll be pretty easy to watch friends play while playing yourself or create and share pictures or videos with them. Last but not least, future racing games will enjoy ray tracing, making reflections and lights of cars look beautiful. The first Forza Motorsport and Gran Turismo 7 trailers have already given a first glance at the impressive graphics to come. Whatever lies ahead, it's going to be a fantastic ride.
A fantastic ride indeed. I can't wait to test it out, but unfortunately, I personally still have to wait much longer for my console to come. We still have Devon with us. Devon, let's talk about the new console generation. So, which one is your favorite, and most important, why?
I'm not too sure I actually have a favorite, just because when I think about the games that are on Xbox, they're going to be on PC too. So it's more likely that I'll probably buy a PS5 just because Gran Turismo will likely only be on PlayStation. So that's probably the route I'll end up going. But yeah.
Yeah, I saw a video from the past where you actually explained why you switched from Xbox to PlayStation 4. And you also mentioned some features. Do you think that there will be also a lot of difference between the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 now going forward within the features?
In terms of racing games, hopefully the things get a bit more closed up between Forza and Gran Turismo. Forza has been a bit lacking these days in actual motorsport focus, and I think that Gran Turismo Sports has kind of shown them that if you make a game that is racing focused, people are going to come to it. So hopefully we do see Forza getting a bit more race focused. But yeah, I think they're both obviously going to support ray tracing and all that. So it should be pretty cool, and bigger lobbies would be nice, assuming that we can also keep those lobbies clean and have some things built into the game to prevent people making it not clean.
Yeah, lobbies are, I don't know, with every game, lobbies are always a big topic, and for racing games also, indeed. But if I look at PlayStation 5 having the controller with the haptic feeling, do you think that this is something that could make a total difference for racing games?
Yeah, from what I've heard, you can actually tell the difference between what kind of surface you're on. Just through the controller on the PlayStation. So, for guys who are playing on PC and might have access to their PlayStation controller, that could be the one that they end up choosing. The Xbox Series X controller, I'm not entirely sure what's different between that and the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. But to me, the Xbox controller has always been more comfortable than the PlayStation controller. I feel like the PlayStation controller is better maybe if you have smaller hands. But it always just feels a bit strange in my hands.
Yeah. Well, you have a personal opinion about that, but looking at the audience, what do you think? How long will these two new generations last? And also, what console in the end will make the race?
So if we look at the current generation, they've lasted 7 years. And these ones, I would say, are probably they're almost the equivalent of a very well-built PC these days. And they're probably in a lot better place than the current generation was when they were launched. So they might last the same amount of time, maybe even a little bit longer. But I suppose we'll see just how fast things develop in the gaming world.
Yeah.
And as far as which is going to come out tops, I think a big thing for a lot of people is going to be the price difference with the Series S compared to the cheaper PlayStation 5. So that could be a big determining factor for people.
Yeah, that's so exciting. It's always so exciting for the whole gaming world, in my opinion. Did you pre-order?
I have not pre-ordered. The reason being is that for racing gamers, I feel there is no reason yet to buy one.
Yeah.
But as soon as probably Gran Turismo is confirmed to be coming out, what day it's coming out, I will probably go for the PlayStation when that comes.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's right now there's a lot going on social media, but when the PlayStation 5 is also coming out, there will be indeed a lot going on social media, and we will take a look at this. But for this week's social showroom, we have collected some tweets that I want to have a look at with you together. So what we found was a little Kickstarter game on Twitter, which looked like pretty cute in my opinion, and which looked like, yeah, I would definitely try this one out. Let's hope that they can raise some money to develop this game. Devon, is this a game that you also would test out?
I might test it out. I'm not entirely sure I would stick with it, but I'd definitely give it a chance if given the opportunity.
If you could invent a racing game, would it look like this one, or how would it look like?
It would look probably as realistic as possible. And importantly, graphics aren't a huge thing for me, but so I'd make it more race focused and trying to be as accurate as possible and just making the racing experience as good as possible.
Yeah, I guess those games are pretty nice for parties, I guess, when you're together,
exactly.
with a group of people. Okay, and then also we find a really, really cool and loving comment on our latest episode, because on our latest episode, which my colleague Frosk hosted, we had a very special guest, which was Emily Jones, and Michael Bergmann commented, "I had no idea this existed, and I had no idea Frosk was involved in sim racing. I have recently watched League of Legends Worlds, and I watch Emily Jones stream as often as I can. So this crossover is such a pleasant surprise. You have a new sub. That was so cool to read, you guys. So yeah, whenever you have the opportunity, please comment on our videos. We all read them, and we're so happy about your feedback. Which guests do you want to have next? And do you enjoy the episodes? We want to read about it more. We still have one tweet for you, Devon, which we want to have a look at. We started a little game on Twitter. It's the Connect 4 game. So we started with a little car, and then our community started to play with us. Here, what I can see here is Jessie commented like a little bit too much, I would say. So she just like jumped into it. What would be your techniques in this one, Devon, playing Connect 4?
I haven't got too much experience with Connect 4, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I would just try to not cheat, but yeah, no. Let's don't talk about that. Let's talk about more about racing, because right now we have a very special Trackmania Hotlap, because we're in our 10th anniversary, I would say. It's a little anniversary. You're the 10th participant here, Devon. So what you will do right now, you have 3 minutes to put your fastest time on the scoreboard, and it's really, really hard to be P1 here, because our leaderboard right now is Emily Jones. She's our hero of the month and is also on the top of the leaderboard. So you have to be faster than 50 0.7 seconds to make P1. Are you confident with this one, Devon?
Not at all. I'll just be happy if I'm not lost.
But have you practiced? Have you done anything?
Yes, I practiced. I was my best run was within 8 seconds. So we'll see. If we can get within 10 seconds, I'll be happy.
Okay. So yeah, let's jump into it. We are so ready for the Trackmania Hotlap, but unfortunately, the internet connection of Devon isn't. So we needed to, reorganize a little bit, which means that I have to do the Trackmania Hotlap. I'm pretty excited about this one and also very, very nervous, but I'm very happy that you, Devon, are with me and hopefully also coaching me. I only have one goal here. I just want to beat Tom Deacon, my dear colleague. Okay, so when you are ready, Devon, I will start.
I am ready.
Okay, let's go. Whew. Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay. And go. Just want to be safe here.
Okay, for me it was just a little dab of brakes. A little dab.
No. Okay.
Not quite.
No.
Okay, restart. Try and keep it a bit closer to the line.
Okay.
And then just a touch of brakes as you get onto the wall, like right there.
Yeah. That's better.
You okay there?
Yes.
You okay there? Yeah. Okay. That's probably the hardest bit, actually.
Yeah.
So you've
I
gotten
also
through
think
there
so.
pretty well.
Ah.
This bit's also not that easy. Those little bollard things are a bit of a nuisance. But yeah, this bit's alright. Nice in the cockpit view there. And then this part, actually, even though the beginning bit might be a bit harder, I think this bit's my least favorite bit. Just because it's so much on the inside you gotta do.
Oh my god. Yeah,
But you're doing well so far.
But do you see that I'm nervous with my driving?
But then that resets your whole time, so I do. But you weren't prepared to be doing this, so it's completely understandable.
A nervous car here.
I mean, you're nearly near the end. I'm sure at this rate you're gonna beat Tom's time.
Come on.
And then keep your finger on the throttle all the way.
Yes!
And
Yes,
I'm sure you're gonna beat him.
I got it. What's my
Yes.
time here?
That was quite comfortable in the end, I think.
It was, right? It was. And I have beaten Tom Deacon. Yes, it was my only goal. And I'm very, very happy about it. So I'm 9th. But yeah, how would you summarize my work here, Devon?
I would summarize it as much better than my first time. I crashed off the track multiple times my first time. So well done.
All right. Well, thank you, Devon, for being with us today. And yeah, all the best for your YouTube channel. And maybe next time you can do the Trackmania Hotlap.
Thank you very much for having me. Hopefully next time there'll be some fiber internet in my area. That would be very nice. But yeah, thank you so much for inviting me on the show. It's been a pleasure.
All right, you guys, but the schedule is not over for you yet because we are going to hop into our Newsflash. We kick off this week's Newsflash with a teaser for GT Sport. This picture was posted. It's a mysterious new vehicle. The community is sure that they already know what is hidden in the dark. It's a Toyota Yaris GR. With GT7 on the horizon, it is good to see that GT Sport is still being supported. But cars weren't only announced this week, they were also driven very fast. The F1 Esports Pro Series had 2 stints again last week. 3 exciting races took place on Wednesday and Thursday. The first place was at Zandvoort, where Jarno Opmeer almost managed to secure his 3rd victory this season, but Frederik Rasmussen overtook him late in the race for the win. On the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal Opmer once again seemed unstoppable. With a medium soft tire strategy, the Alfa Romeo driver fought his way from P10 to the head of the field. Due to an in-game issue, Opmer collided with defending champion David Tonizza on his way to victory, but only the Ferrari driver had to deal with bad consequences. The crash sent him back so far that he couldn't recover. Once again, Tonizza had bad luck in this series. On Thursday, the drivers faced off in Spielberg for the third and final race. It was the home track for Red Bull drivers Marcel Kiefer and Frederik Rasmussen, who dominated from start, seizing first and second respectively. With this, Marcel Kiefer won his first race in the Pro Series, and who was P3? Obviously none other than Opmer. After 6 out of 12 races, Jarno Opmer still leads the standings with 123 points under his belt. Marcel Kiefer with 93 points and Frederik Rasmussen with 89 points are his strongest competitors. Williams Esports Moritz Löhner retained his ADAC GT Masters Esports 2020 title in a dramatic final round of the Race Room Championship on Saturday. Löhner's Williams stablemate Jack Keithley headed into the event as the points leader, but a miserable qualifying session left him down in 9th place for the opening race at the virtual Oschersleben. Keithley recovered to run 5th, but a spin into the barriers left him down in 15th place at the checkered flag, dropping him to 3rd in the championship. Red Bull Racing esports team Nestor Garcia boosted his title hopes by taking pole position for the title decider, but he then lost the lead to Team Redline's Kevin Ziggy on the opening lap. Garcia pressured Ziggy throughout the race, but he couldn't prevent the Slovenian racer from taking the win. Löhner followed them home in 3rd place to beat Garcia in the title by just 3 points. He took home $10,000 for securing the championship. Keithley sealed 3rd position in the standings with a 4th place finish in race 2. And lastly, we have breaking news. Codemasters has reached a formal agreement with Take-Two for its sale for around $980 million. The new acquisition by Take-Two is anticipated to be completed in the first quarter of 2021. Codemasters will then run under the 2K label. With this, the Newsflash is done and dusted, you guys. This was our console special, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did, but now I need to go and pine a little bit longer for the next gen gaming. Until then, don't forget to buckle up and of course tune in next week. Bye.